You know, comedian Bill Burr absolutely nailed it when he referred to Elon Musk as a nerd. And nothing against nerds out there. I'm not knocking nerds. I consider myself to be a nerd in a lot of cases. Hell, back when I was in school, I was always the kid that went to the library and read books on his breaks, and the kids would walk up and say, "What you reading for?" You know, I was that quiet kid in the library. And I can absolutely nerd out talking about music. I'm a liner notes nerd. I can tell you who played bass or who set in on drums on whatever album you want to know about. I don't know if you knew it or not, but on the Leonard Skinner classic Tuesdays Gone, that's not the Skinner rhythm section. Yeah, that's actually Al Cooper, the producer, playing bass. And Robert Nix from the Atlanta Rhythm Section played drums. So yeah, that's not the original Skinner rhythm section in that one. Luckily for them, they had it down by the time they made the live album. But yeah, I could sit here and nerd out all day long over things like that. But Elon is the type of dude who nerds out for attention and who craves being loved and who craves being wanted and who craves being accepted. And he's a grown man with billions, trillions of dollars, and he gets online and he argues with teenagers about his video game skills, and he gets caught cheating at video games. And it's one of the weirdest things that I've ever sat back and watched. And just when you think that he can't get any weirder, trust me, he always will, because he's dying for attention so desperately that he actually has a DOGE badge. Look at this. I remember my first badge. I was probably 5, 6 years old. And I got it and I pinned it on my shirt, and I walked up in front of my uncle and I said, "Hey, look at this." And he said, "Hey, come in here and look at this." And he showed me his real one, and kind of made me feel ridiculous. And I don't think I wore that one again after that, because I felt like my bubble got bursted. But hey, I made it. I survived. I lived to tell the tale. But not only does this moron go out and get a badge, I can't believe this is real. He wears 2 hats because he's seeking attention so desperately. Take a look.
And I love the double hat, but he's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats. That's true. Even my hat has a hat.
You know, I don't care how big of a Trump fan or supporter I was, if I was sitting in that room and saw him sitting there with those 2 hats, I'd be embarrassed for him. It's just so humiliating to watch this guy fangirl out and nerd out and seek and crave attention the way that he does. And yeah, it gets worse, because this is what happens when you nerd out like that and you try to get people's attention and you crave their attention and you want them to kiss your ass. They'll kind of do what my uncle did. They'll kind of put you in your place really quick. And that's what Donald Trump does in this clip. I normally don't enjoy playing Trump clips here on the channel, but I enjoy playing this one because he points out how that Elon used to not like him, and now he kisses his ass like the nerd that he is. Take a look.
If you look at some of these internet people, I know so many of them. Elon is so terrific, but I know now all of them, you know, they all hated me in my first term, and now they're kissing my ass, you know? Do you know? It's true. All of them. It's true.
Well, it pains me to agree with Donald Trump, but he's right. It's true. They're kissing his ass now, and Elon's kissing his ass now. And the reason why they're doing it is because they saw the grift working, and they got on board with the grift. But whenever I go to protest, the one person that I see them protesting more than Donald Trump himself is Elon Musk. And that's because of what Elon Musk is doing. I want to play this clip here from Jessica Tarlov, the voice of reason on Fox News. I don't know how she does her job. I don't think there's enough money in the world you could pay me to make me sit next to this crew every day and try to talk common sense. But my bandana goes off to her. I mean, way to go for trying. And she brings across the point that I hear so many people say when it comes to Elon Musk. We're not against him cutting wasteful spending. We're all for cutting wasteful spending. It's we don't like seeing a guy like him get richer. She absolutely nails it in this next clip.
Talk about the clear failure of DOGE based on their own set goals. We started at $2 trillion. Then we moved to $1 trillion. Now we're at $160 billion.
For now, right now. It keeps adding up.
Well, it is a problem. You want to always compare things.
I didn't see Congress doing that.
If you want to, which you always do, to compare this to private sector standards, if you hired McKinsey to come in and to cut $2 trillion, then they said, oh, we'll get you $1 billion. Then they say, we'll get you $160 billion. You'd say, you're not doing a very good job. And also, maybe you were spreading lies about what's actually going on in the federal government.
$1.6 billion a day so far.
But the real story of DOGE is that Elon Musk has $38 billion in government contracts, has not had a penny of his money touched, Well, he's going around cutting other people's contracts. And there was a new congressional report out this week that found that he was up for $2.37 billion in potential fines across 11 agencies. And what has he been doing? He has been cutting the people who are investigating him. If that doesn't smell like corruption, I don't know what
he's
does.
up for a fine. Let's make sure that he gets a fine before you start saying he's up for a fine.
If you get rid of the investigator, you were an investigator,
I
right?
certainly was.
Okay,
and
so
you
if there's
don't
a
make an
potential crime
accusation
and then
unless
you
have the
fire,
evidence to prove
but
it.
It's all laid out, by the way, in the pages of the
First of
Gray
all,
Lady.
he had all those government contracts before he even went into DOGE.
And he makes, I think, $8 million a day while 20,000 federal workers are getting fired, while Head Start program. He's like,
Kaylee.
Again, I've never met anyone who opposes cutting wasteful spending. That's something we've always been talking about for as long as I can remember, and something that we've always wanted to see done. But what we didn't want to see done is for one of the most powerful men in the world to then turn over his administration to another powerful billionaire, trillionaire, and say to him, hey, you go through here and you cut anything that you disagree with, and make sure you go after people who are coming after you, and make sure that you fire people and you get richer. That's not what any of us wanted to see. None of us wanted to see that dude get richer, and that's what we're seeing, and that's why we have a problem with it. But he will always be, in my mind, the nerd that sucks up to Trump, only to be reminded that, hey, you used to hate me, and now you're kissing my ass. That's what he will always be. And I really believe that once Trump finally goes away, and once we finally have him out of the political arena, I really don't think that anyone else will be able to follow his act. There will be people that will come along that will try to be the cult of personality, and they will fail miserably. And the one that will fail the most miserably at trying, if he attempts it, is Elon Musk. He will fail, because all he is right now, he's just Trump's cool buddy in their eyes. But they didn't like him before. They didn't like his electric cars before. They only cheered him because Trump told them to cheer him. Not because they liked him, not because they believed in a word he had to say. It was because Trump said, I like Elon now. They thought RFK Jr. was the most radical left lunatic ever until Donald Trump said, cheer for Bobby now. That's why I'm never impressed when MAGA turns on someone. I'm never impressed when they cheer or boo someone, because they're only doing what their leader told them to do. And Elon Musk will learn that the hard way the day that he goes out and tries to imitate Trump and connect with that cult of personality. They'll remember him and they'll go, no, you just kissed his ass to get ahead. You just kissed his ass to be popular. They will remember it. And I love making boxing analogies, but there was a whole lot of fighters, and I'm not comparing Donald Trump to Muhammad Ali in no way. He's not in any way comparable, but there were people that watched Muhammad Ali do the whole float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. They watched him do the rope-a-dope, and they thought they could try it, and they got knocked stupid. Go watch Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran in the first fight. He tried that rope-a-dope with Roberto Duran and got his ass beat. And that's what's going to happen when these people goes out there and tries to re-entertain and reshape this and say, I could do it. I could do what he did. Watch this. They'll go out there and they'll float like a butterfly, but they're the ones that'll get stung like a bee. And they'll get stung like a bee by Trump's followers, who will say, no, wait a minute, hold on. We saw through you the first time for the ass kisser that you was, and we was only sitting there laughing at your stupidity because he told us it was okay to do so at the moment. And the minute Trump tells them to turn on him, they'll be making fun of his video gaming skills, they'll be making fun of his two hats, they'll be making fun of his badge, and they'll be reminding him of what an ass kiss he truly is.